This is a fascinating split among really two core members of the MAGA movement. Marjorie Taylor Greene is well known as one of Donald Trump's most loyal supporters. She has been, for many years, very outspoken in her support of him, first when he was a candidate, but then as president and then running again for office. But we have seen tensions build since he returned to power. Now, the president says it's because he told Marjorie Taylor Greene that she didn't have the support necessary to launch a run for either the Senate or to be governor of the state of Georgia. She says it all has to do with her support for releasing the Epstein files. Now, Donald Trump has been adamant that this is a Democrat hoax, the attention being put on the release of these files. But Marjorie Taylor Greene says her loyalty is not to Donald Trump, but it is to the MAGA movement. And in this case, it is to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and his associates.
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, you know, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations. And I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped.
Now, seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene on CNN would have been very unusual just a few months ago, but she's been doing the rounds on a lot of mainstream news outlets. She says Fox News simply refuses to have her on these days, and she does seem to be pushing a much more centrist line. She also says that the rhetoric in America in politics has become far too heated and is putting people's lives at risk. It's not just the Epstein files, though, where she disagrees with the president. She's also been highly critical of his foreign policy and his attention on foreign policy, and in particular his unwavering support for Israel. She says he needs to be focused on domestic issues, in particular cost of living. But on the Epstein files, there does seem to now be real momentum among Republicans to support the push for the release of these files. We'll have a vote this week in the House. The question will be whether or not there are enough Republicans who will ignore the direct instructions of the president in the Senate to actually get that over the line. But the Epstein files really have become the biggest issue for the president as far as control over his base is concerned. And we will see whether or not Donald Trump remains the sole arbiter of exactly what the MAGA movement is, or whether people like Marjorie Taylor Greene will actually be able to usurp some of those powers.